USS Barney has been tracking at least one submerged Soviet submarine off the coast of Greenland for a few days now. Occasionally, USS Barney would harass the sub with signaling depth charges and bang away with active sonar, encouraging the submarine to surface, although they never do. Due to worsening weather conditions, USS Barney has lost contact with the submarine. She needs to re-establish sonar contact and identify the sub. Once contact is made, USS Barney is to continue harassing the submarine. To avoid a diplomatic incident, the US warship is not to fire at the enemy unless fired upon. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome back to Sea Power, Naval Combat in the Missile Age. Before we get started, I do want to say this is a very early look at Sea Power, and much of what you are going to see in this video is subject to change. Today we will be playing through a scenario I created in the in-game mission editor. This scenario is loosely based off the film The Bedford Incident. USS Barney here, an Adams-class guided missile destroyer, has been tracking a Soviet submarine for a few days now. We have lost contact on the sub, and it is our task to re-establish contact on the submarine and also identify it. The problem is, the Adams-class destroyer here does not have much in the way of ASW capabilities. We do not have a helicopter, and we do not have a towed array that can be strung out behind the ship. All we have is our hull-mounted sonar array, which is kind of antiquated. We go to the unit reference here, we can see the Adams-class destroyer and the SQS-23 hull-mounted sonar. This has a passive range of 18 kilometers and an active range of 7 kilometers. It should be noted that this is on a good day. With this rain and these relatively choppy seas we are in, we are not picking up anything 18 kilometers away from the ship. Now, to find this submarine, we are going to do a series of sprints and drifts. That way we can cover a good amount of ground and also listen. We are currently moving at 13 knots, so there's a lot of flow noise going over the sonar array. Let's come to a complete stop and take a listen, see if we can hear anything out there. We do have these radar contacts to the south. It does seem like they are probably merchant ships. We are picking them up on radar and continuing to track them. I can request them to identify themselves, but it does not look like they are responding to those queries. Over to the west of USS Barney's position, 63 some odd nautical miles away, is USS Cook, a Knox-class frigate. This is a much more capable ASW platform. For one, she has a helo and also has a towed array. She is moving to USS Barney's position, but it's going to take some time to get there, about 2.5 hours indeed. We are going to increase our speed to flank. That should get us up to 27 knots is the ordered speed, maybe cut off a couple of minutes. That being said, USS Cook is in a good position to launch her helo, so we are going to bring up the flight deck panel here. We are going to launch a single Sea Sprite with an ASW loadout. This ASW loadout will have 2 Mark 46 torpedoes and a good amount of sono buoys, which will certainly help with tracking. USS Barney over here has been listening for some time, has not picked anything up, not entirely surprising. All ahead full. USS Cook has launched her Sea Sprite. We are going to order it to pretty much head directly for Barney's position. We can also control and right click with our sono buoys and set up a search pattern. That looks pretty good. We'll just start dropping them right in the area. It looks like they will be at this position in just about an hour. They are coming up to speed though, so I do suspect this time will change. Let's go to Barney and come to a complete stop. I'll stop. And the depth under keel is 11,000 feet. If we hover over this, we can see the thermal layer is at a depth of 324 feet. It is possible the Soviet sub is hiding underneath that thermal layer there, which will make it even harder to pick up. Once we complete this turn here, I may use some active sonar, just 3 pings or so. See if we can pick anything up with that. I highly doubt we will, but it is worth a shot. I am kind of concerned that we're not going to be able to hear much of anything until we are right on top of the sub. Once again, not picking anything up. All ahead full, let's get moving again. Let's see, how long is it going to take for the sea sprite to get here? Is this accurate? Okay, there we go, just updated. The sea sprite will be dropping her first sono buoy at 1938 Zulu time, so about 30 minutes from now. USS Barney is all alone until then. USS Barney has completed her turn. She's now heading 102 degrees. Let's come to a stop and drift again. We have continued to do our sprints and our drifts here. It is now 19:15, so our helo should be here in about 15 minutes time. Slowly coming to a stop here. Let's use some active sonar, 3 pings or so. Unsurprisingly, we have not picked anything up. Secure that active sonar. Increase speed to standard. And let's continue to search for the sub. Now, I know a lot of these ships would actually carry sono buoys and just toss them off the fantail. We do not have that capability at the moment. We really just have to rely on our helo, which certainly makes things a little more exciting. I'll say the environment here looks really awesome as well. It's incredibly foggy out. That large radar contact to the south of our position is 11.82 nautical miles out. She is still chugging at 8 knots. They're all moving at 8 knots. Must be a convoy of some sort. We can't actually see them because of just how foggy it is. We only have radar contact designated by the little R next to the icon there. Go to info, see have they narrowed it down. It still could be merchants or 21 other types of ships here. Alright. Not entirely concerned about it. Our primary task is to find the sub. Got something. To the north of our position. We just turned and came to a stop and we picked this guy up. Submerged contact. She is at a depth of 300 feet, speed 5 knots, course 225 degrees. Let's mark that position here. Bring out the marker. Okay, it is a Soviet submarine. That's good to know. We don't know exactly where she is, but we have a pretty darn good idea. She could be anywhere within this yellow band. Okay, and she is continuing to move. She came up to 290 feet, so the sub is operating above the thermal layer. Let's get the ruler out. Her course is 218. It does look like she is turning. 218, mark that. And how far is the target away from us? Let's make a circle from Barney. Oh, wrong marker. Circle, excuse me. Let's see. Contact is 0.8 nautical miles away. Now, I do believe that is going to be within a minimum firing range for our ass rock. This is our primary anti-submarine weapon. It is a rocket-propelled torpedo. The torpedo will drop right on top of the contact. That being said, we can click on it and see the range circles here. This yellow circle indicates minimum firing range. And yeah, we are certainly within that. I believe the minimum range is just about 1 nautical mile, if not a little bit more. The RUR-5 has a max range of, I believe, 6 nautical miles. So we do want to move away. The problem is, our sonar cannot hear anything, it seems, if we are further than 1 nautical mile away. But we have a general track of the contact at this point. It does look like she is continuing on that course. Let's mark this again. and I want Barney to come around this way. We can go at full speed. Let's move quickly. And yep, we are immediately going to... No. Ceasefire. Do not engage that. Weapons hold. I did not mean to engage that track. We do want to avoid firing at the Soviet sub, if at all possible. So, yep, definitely going weapons hold. Moving around, and we'll continue to track the sub. So, USS Barney is moving around. Let's get into... Let's move about there. How about that? And we can see the track is dormant. We are not currently tracking her. We can see the last detection age was about 1 minute and 5 seconds ago. And it could be an Echo 2 or a November class submarine. Has a 6-bladed propeller. It's a nuke boat, 2 shafts. We just are not exactly sure what kind of sub it is. What time is it? It's 1934. When are you getting over here? 1938. And we need to readjust the search pattern here, don't we? Let's have her just drop a sonobuoy right there. Just move right there and drop in front of the submerged contacts track, please. All stop. Maneuvering aye. Okay, Barney is coming to a halt. Let's see if we can reestablish contact. Aha! We got her. Let's click on our friend. And now we can see we are tracking. Confidence is 1, so we're narrowing down its position here. She is moving, I guess, still at 5 knots, maintaining that course of 242, wiggling around just a little bit, and maintaining depth of 290. Now let's just see if we can identify. Let's check our ASRock range, and yeah, still within minimum range here. So we are going to move away again.
Turn to course 15.
Move out this way. Now, the ASRock is not our only weapon. We do have 2 triple Mark 46 torpedo launchers on the port and starboard side of the ship if we need to utilize those. ASRock is just a more rapid deployment of a Mark 46 torpedo. Plus, if things get really hairy, I do want to use our ASRock because there is something about a rocket-propelled torpedo that really just does something for me. We should be outside of minimum firing range at this point. We are coming to a stop. Let's see if we can pick up the target. She's probably pretty far away at this point. Might be outside of detection range. 1.4 nautical miles, if I had to guess. Sea Sprite is almost here. Has visual contact on USS Barney. Okay, Barney, I'll stop. The good news is, we have detected this contact once already, so we have a pretty good idea of where to search, I'd say. Okay, we got him. No, do not engage. I keep right-clicking on accident. Let's see, info here. Yeah, still not exactly sure what she is. Echo 2 or November. Now, the year is 1965, but the Soviet submarines are still pretty capable. Do not fire. Ceasefire. I do not like that launcher pointed at the target. I accidentally gave them a fire order, so they're just waiting. Okay. Turn that back. We don't want an incident here. Drop a sonobuoy right on top of that guy. New passive oh boy. Waycoming torpedoes have been fired.
Torpedo in the water, bearing.
All ahead flank. Start moving, all ahead flank.
Maneuvering aye.
Noisemaker. That's not going to do a whole lot. Turn away, turn away, turn away. ASRock, engage, engage, engage. Weapons tight. There we go, 1 away. Drop multiple torpedoes on this guy. Now these are wake homing torpedoes, so what they do is they home in on our ship's wake. You know what, fire another. While we're at it. 2 more. Okay, we're going to pop 1 more noisemaker. Turn hard. I'll stop. And hopefully... The lack of a wake will help. Okay, we hit that sub with a Mark 46. That is the benefit of Ass Rock. There we go. Dropping right on the target. And now we really just need to cross our fingers and hope that we've drifted far enough and our wake has dissipated fast enough. Okay, stop firing those. Okay, I need our Sea Sprite. Come over here.
Turn to course 15
Immediately.
LI.
Drop sono buoys directly behind Barney. So there are a couple of strategies to attempt to evade wake homing torpedoes. One is don't produce a wake. That's a big one right there. We had to move out of the way because they probably launched on USS Barney's direct bearing, so they would have hit if we did not move. The second one is to run like hell. The problem is let's check these torpedoes. 5365K torpedoes. I believe they have a top speed of 45 knots, so they are going to be a little bit faster than USS Barney. If we had a ship that could outrun them, that is also a strategy. But generally, you cross your fingers. They are pretty hard to evade. The fact that these torpedoes can home in on wakes, oh my gosh. One just exploded aft of us. I don't know why it exploded. That is incredibly concerning. Did it hit? I wonder if it hit a noisemaker. Okay, sono buoy has dropped behind Barney. We're not hearing any torpedoes. I think we may have actually survived this. Let's check on this situation over here. Mark 46 spinning around looking for that sub. Lots of noisemakers in the water. Okay, I think Barney may be in the clear. Come back over here. I want our Sea Sprite to go investigate that sub. Well, that was quite lucky. Very lucky indeed. Here's the torpedo. Here's the wake homing torpedo. Yeah, so if it comes across our wake, it would start wiggling in and just following the ship. It is quite a fascinating technology. And incredibly difficult to evade. Like I said, look, their speed is indeed 45 knots here. This torpedo is at 82 feet. It is dropping down. I do not know why it would be doing that. Okay, we've identified something. We've identified those guys to the south. Those are merchant ships. Got it. Okay, and this contact is sinking. It was a November-class submarine. She is going down. Looks like she was hit with a Mark 46, at least one. There we go. Okay, good work, Barney. Managed to respond and evade those torpedoes. I am not going to move because I have no idea how many wake homing torpedoes are in the water. Let's have our Sea Sprite come here. Start searching the whole area. Drop sono buoys all over the place. See if we can find anything else out here. Yeah, scary torpedoes. We were very lucky, especially at such a close range. The cutting the engines during the turn probably helped. Okay, our Sea Sprite is going to continue to search, make sure nothing else is out in the area. And I am glad we actually were able to engage and destroy that November-class sub. I fired more ass rock than probably necessary, but if Barney was going to eat a fish, I'd rather her expend as much of her ordnance as possible.
Contact faded. Track 7010.
We have something interesting way over here, a noisemaker. Let's have our Sea Sprite move over this way. She only has 9 sono buoys left. Let's drop a sono buoy right on that noisemaker, and Barney's going to move to investigate all ahead flank. I do believe those wake homing torpedoes have gone completely past us. I am curious what that explosion behind Barney was. It very well could have been a torpedo striking a noisemaker. I am not sure though. Very interesting. Let's turn on active for just a couple of seconds here. We will be here at 1955, so in about 9 minutes or so. Range about 5 nautical miles out. We are in range of Ass Rock, which is good. Okay, secure the active, not picking anything up.
Sonar eye.
Not entirely surprising since we are booking it at 30 knots. Now, if we wanted to get a really good fix on the sub, let's drop down to 20 feet. And the magnetic anomaly detector will get strung out behind the helo. And let's fly directly over that contact, pinpoint its position. She is still moving at 3 knots, not moving very quickly. These sprites coming around, loop around. You can pick them up on MAD. Oh, it doesn't look like it.
On station.
It is possible she is too deep. We'll come back around again. Let's identify the sub. Get ready to fire. We are going to fire, and we have picked up more contacts. Okay, Barney, increase speed, all ahead flank. She's fired torpedoes at us. And Barney, let's send it. Now, I could have definitely fired on this contact first, but I did want to identify it. Fire 2. Fire 2 more. Alright, there we go. Ass rocks away. We will see the rocket separate like that from the torpedo. It is just awesome. Okay, let's take a look at these torpedoes. It looks like we need to turn south. Turn south. Yeah. Head over this way. Looking at these wake-homing torpedoes, we have one that we really need to worry about here. This guy. Thankfully, they are being fired at quite the distance. What's this one's heading? 089. And she's firing more stuff. Multiple hostile contacts. Okay, we hit our Foxtrot class sub. Hit it with 2 Mark 46 torpedoes. We have 2 more coming in. Oh, beautiful. Impact. Impact. There we go. That should be enough. It does look like she is going down. Now USS Barney just needs to evade. We have a good amount of time here to just run away. Let's drop some noisemakers out here, even though they're not going to do much against wakehomers. We can see they are just skimming right below the surface of the water here.
7015, contact.
We are losing contact on these sono buoys. I want our sea sprite come over here.
Turn to course.
Drop a sono buoy right in our wake. And you can see a big oil slick on the surface of the water after that Foxtrot went down. It's a diesel electric submarine. The November is a nuke boat, obviously. She is quite loud as well, but I think these are the only 2 subs out here at this time. Barney is now well over 1 nautical mile away from those 5365K torpedoes. Tracks?
On station.
On station. Oh, Barney, you gotta keep booking it. You have no time to slow down. Continuing to run away. The Sea Sprite is about to drop right in our path. Hopefully this will pick up those incoming torpedoes. I think we are in the clear. She is running low on sono buoys here as well. She is down to 4. Still has her payload of 2 Mark 46 torpedoes. Sono buoy has been deployed. Let's listen and see. Okay, picking up a wakehomer. It's still way back here. I don't believe that. Cruising at 45 knots. Alright, checking behind us. Aha, there we go. I think we're clear. This is probably the closest one. Let's Still running on the surface. Yeah, Barney made it out of the way just in time. Well, with those 2 submarines destroyed, I think that is all that is in the area. We are going to order our Sea Sprite to return to base. Sea Sprite's going to fly all the way back to USS Cook, and Barney will continue her patrol. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's episode. I do hope you all enjoyed it. Certainly an interesting and short little scenario. I did want to try ASW with one of these older US warships. Having an antiquated sonar array in these rough seas certainly makes things quite hairy, and those wake-homing torpedoes really are no joke if they are able to acquire your ship's wake. Well, folks, that's going to do it for today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. This is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I'll see you all on the next one.